So when I went to the Goodwill outlet, the Bins in Kansas City, I found this sourdough bread book. I love a good book. So I picked it up, I brought it home, and I had been thinking about ordering one of the kits off of the TikTok shop to do sourdough. So I ordered the kit. And I'm going to use the recipe out of this book to start my sourdough journey, and I'm going to share it with you. So if you want to order one of these jars, you can click below, order your kits, and I will put where you can screenshot the amount that I started with. Because listen, my grandma did sourdough, and she didn't have a scale, okay? She did a cup of this, cup of that. She made her sourdough. So we're not doing the scale thing. We're going to use cups. So take your phone, take a screenshot of the recipe that I'm going to use, and save it. Get ready to start your sourdough journey. It's not that difficult. We're going to make it easy. So this is the jar that I ordered. Everything that came with it. When I opened it, it's got the measuring cups, the spoons, everything. So we're going to start with getting everything washed up, cleaned up, and ready to go. I love that it came with a scraper. I love that it came with the band. The thermometer thing, I didn't really, it's not really a big deal. But I put it on the jar. So we get everything all washed up, get it all cleaned, and get ready to start our sourdough journey. And this is just the cutest little kit, honestly. I'm going to put 2 links. You can either order it from TikTok shop if you're on TikTok, or you can order it from Walmart storefront. And I'll put both links to it, and we'll start from there. I'll also put a link to a sourdough bread starter book that I found on TikTok, and one that I found on Walmart that I think would be just like really good for you to have. So this book is what I'm going to go from using this recipe for making my sourdough starter. The only thing I changed in this recipe was I had to add about another cup of water to get it the right consistency. I think because my first cup of flour was really full and packed. But yeah, let's get started. This is the book that came with the jar. It has all the information you need to start making your sourdough. We're just not going to weigh it. We're going to use the book that I have, the recipe I have from that book, and we're skipping the scale. Here's the recipe. You can screenshot it if you want to start your sourdough journey. This is the one we're going to be working with. The recipe that I'm using calls for 2 cups of flour. I'm just using all-purpose flour that I bought at Aldi's. So it calls for 1.5 cups of warm water. I heated some water up to get it nice and warm, and I ended up putting 2 cups of water in, the same amount as we put flour. So the recipe that I'm using says beat vigorously to mix it really well and to get a lot of air into your mixture. So I'm beating the heck out of it. I thought the fork was going to be like really good to be able to break the flour up. And it was kind of thick, so this is where I added the extra water. And the fork just wasn't getting it. I had to use that scraper because it really wasn't working out. Okay, after I got the flour all incorporated into the water, felt like I beat a lot of air into the mixture, scraped down the sides as best as I could with that scraper, and put my band on. And the recipe that I'm using out of the book, it says to set it outside for a little while so that it can capture the wild yeast in the air. And basically that's what sourdough is. You're collecting the wild yeast out of the air into your flour water mixture to make its own yeast. And it's going to rapidly grow and ferment your flour and water. So after I cleaned it all up, got my little cover on, I took it out and set it on my little table outside. It's really warm outside today. I'm just going to leave it out there for a few hours. So when the sun starts to come around on this side of the house, it will, I'll bring it in. But here's day 1.